Season 2 of Blue Lock is set to come out this fall, covering the popular U20 match, which is an important game to keep the Blue Lock program alive, but along with that also comes a whole new array of characters who will face off against the Blue Lock 11. So with the introduction of these new characters for the Blue Lockers to face, I thought it would be a cool idea to dive into the potential look for each of these players, and mainly predict how the colors of their aura and hair would be. As I don't see another Cure situation coming, with his official colors differing from what we see in the anime. So these predictions is what I hope to see and what I personally think will match for each character. Before getting to all this, just gotta clear out now, this will contain spoilers for the U20 match, so basically season 2 as well. So moving on to the 11 starters on the U20 team, we have already known 3 of the players whose official colors or illustrations are out. As stated in season 1's, Itochi Sai will be participating in the match, and we've seen through the anime and cover art that he shares the same aqua colored eyes as Rin, but has a somewhat dirtyish red like shade of hair, which also matches his aura from what the cover gives. Since it is pretty evident that the background color of each volume cover matches the aura of the player highlighted, but it will be interesting to see how it is converted to the anime.
Other than Sai, there's also Sendo, which for the longest time in the community was thought to be blonde, but it was also debunked with his volume cover and official illustrations during the Uber's match. His hair and eye color is something of a salmon pink, which overall still looks good in my opinion, especially with the anime rendering of him that was released. So it's safe to say that his look in Season 2 will actually be pretty nice to see.
The last of the 3 we know of is the U20 captain, Oliver Aiku, whose color scheme has been known for a while ever since the U20 match was ongoing in the manga. Being known for his heterochromia, with his right eye being a dark bluish purple and his left being a lime green, matching his highlights in his hair. Due to his past of previously being a striker and now being a defender, it makes sense why his color scheme is like that, and how his aura will be displayed in the anime isn't known, but it would be cool to see a switch between the 2 colors depending on the situation he's in. But just having both of them present at the same time is also a viable option. So now moving on to those of the U20 team, we have not seen any official artwork done for them other than panels in the manga, starting with the backline and goalkeeper Fukakugen. Fukakugen seems to just have a basic design from the panels we have of him, so I can't see him having any dominant colors, but instead of a muted color such as gray, whether it's dark gray or light gray, or for his eyes, since he doesn't really seem to have fully shaded eyes as those who do. I can also see brown working for him as well. I think the gray though would do him fine, and having black hair, since he ultimately doesn't really do much, so there isn't much effort to be put into his character design for the match. Also for him, I would also predict his jersey color, since he is the goalkeeper, so it'll have to be a different color. So I would predict it to be green, so we have seen the Blue Lock goalkeeper being yellow, so I see it being different. Plus green is probably the most used color for a goalkeeper to wear in the real world of soccer. So I would say his jersey would have to be green.
Alright, so next player is Darai, one of the U20 defenders on the team, and also one I like the design of since it's something different that we've seen in the Blue Lock manga. He appears as a tall, lanky player who's good at off-the-ball movement, which is what I interpret it as. He also has noticeably darker skin than the rest of the members on the team as well, and also has body paint resembling a Buddha on his arms and head. Which I believe will be like black body paint, with his considering his skin tone and his eyes and like the urna on his forehead being a tannish color, being similar to the color Buddha statues look to, if not gold, as it will mix in well with his skin tone and allows the contrast you can see when you look at his design. So hopefully that is what he would look like in the anime coming up.
Alright, so the third defense member of the team is Neo Kazuma. He also plays the center back position along with Aiku. He seemed to have long, slick back hair with like a strand coming out. Also, he has a mustache and a 3-striped goatee. For his design to be translated into the anime, I can see the color of his eyes being used is like red, since he's also stated in the manga to be a power type defender who's like super strong, and red represents power, so it's kind of fitting for his character, similar to like his aura with Baro and everything. While the rest of his hair I can see being all black, although a cool detail they can give him would be like making his goatee red, since it's a distinctive feature on him. But it will kind of somewhat look similar to how Baro has his hair dyed from the NEL, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with his design. I do think red will be his primary color though, so we can move on. So then the final member of the defense would be Neru Tepe, playing in the fullback. Not necessarily one of my favorite designs from the U20 members due to his more plain and simple face. I just can't get behind it. It is a popular assumption he has white hair, so with that his aura could also be white. His gimmick is being like a speed type defender, His aura or some visualizations around him appear to be lightning in some panels, which could be white. There isn't much to go based off from his design, but if the popular vote of white doesn't come to be, I can also see him having like a light blonde or muted, similar to like Tsukishima from Haiku. It would accent his speed and lightning, so either of the two would be satisfying to me in my opinion, so we can move on. The next set of players to take a look at are the set of defensive midfielders, the first being Hayate Haru, being on the right. He's seen as being one of the taller players on the U20 roster, and a set of spiky hair, which only adds to his height. For Hayate, I would rather not go so generic and have him have white hair, so I kind of went towards a different route to make sense of it. Hayate, his name roughly means like sudden sound of the wind or hurricane, so I thought a good suited color for him would be like a smoky gray. This is really going mainly based off his name, so the wind and hurricane can also be attached with like tornadoes and twisters, which are also like super tall. So it can be like representation of a tornado. With that, I would say his aura would be like a smoky gray, while his eyes are more of a darker gray. Really depending on the lighting they go for it, if it's either like at night or day. But hopefully it's at night. But yeah, that's what I would pick for him personally. So we can move on to like the next midfielder. So then for the other defensive midfielder, Isuki Wakasuki. Seen with long hair and a thin headband, freckles, and especially his notable eye bags. Just to get out of the way, his headband could really just be one of three colors, either black, white, or the reddish color seen in the U20 uniform. But I think white will probably just be used just to match the uniform as seen like in the manga panels. As for how I think he will turn out personally, I don't see like a significant outlandish design due to him being subbed out after the first half. But even then, with what I could use, I kind of went the name route again, with his name Isuki, meaning tree, and the color I think of when I think of tree is green. But with his look, with the eye bags, it could be a darker green similar to Tokimitsu, which could work since Tokimitsu doesn't play in the match, so then it wouldn't really conflict. His hair would be a black and dark green combo similar to like Deku from like My Hero, having green eyes but lighter to stand out. Then his eye bag showing like the dark green color would also match his aura pretty well. I mean, he won't be used, the design for him won't be really used that much, so they could really go whichever route and I'll be fine with it in my opinion. Then getting to the last of the players on the U20 team are just the remaining two forwards, first of which is Tero Kitsunezato, which is one of the more unique designs of the U20 members, who also gave me the inspiration to make this video. He has his hair tied back with stripes on the sides and also like a fox-like face. Kitsune in his name meaning fox. So for me, I really can only go one route for this towards his color scheme, making my assumption based on the Nine-Tails Fox from Naruto, Kurama, which he has like an orange reddish color towards his fur. So for Kitsunezato, his hair will probably match the same color, with the stripes in his hair being black and red to break it up. That will basically make up his whole eye and aura color scheme as well. This one I can't see being any other mashup of colors due to the nature of his name and being just called the Fox during the game from his other teammates, so I would be really disappointed if they went another route for him. But yeah, let's move on to the final member of the team. So with that, it will take us to the last player in the team, Kento Cho, who is described to be as a mannequin. So I interpreted that to him being almost perfect in terms of looks and personality, but also I can see him being more of a plainer design rather than being all out colorful, which I can be wrong, but my prediction would be having to like common black hair, but to add something to him, having blue eyes will suit him since he's shown to be good looking, so the blue eyes will further add on to that and be used for his aura color. Although other than that, he doesn't have more distinct features, but also if the black hair doesn't come to be, having dark brown hair would also fit him for his character design. But I'll probably just go like a simple route saying black hair and blue eyes, because I don't think I've used blue so far, so like we'll really give a match of colors for the team as well. So with that, it brings us to the end, and I just want to say again, this is all just predictions and opinions, so if any of these turn out to be right, that would be great, but if not, I'm sure the artists know what they're doing. If anyone has their own predictions or thoughts on how the U20 team will come out, I'd love to hear it, because there's a lot of possibilities that can go, and I just want to know what the community thinks it could happen. So thanks for watching my video and stay tuned.